Did you hear? It's been 7 years and finally Yishun is going to have another executive condo called 𝕁𝕦𝕓𝕤. It's going to be located at Yishun Avenue 9 within 1 km to Chongfu Primary School. There will be 616 units ranging from 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms and 5 bedroom units. So exciting! Alright, I know some of you are wondering, EC or private condo? What's the difference? Are ECs still a good buy? Shalom everyone! Welcome to Juice with Jupes. I'm Julia from Property Jupes, and today I'll be sharing with you the difference between ECs and private condos and what type of buyers each condominium would be more suitable for. For the purpose of today's videos, the ECs that I will be talking about are the ECs that are offered directly from the government via private developers and not in the resale market. What are executive condominiums, otherwise known as ECs? They are a hybrid type of housing that is categorized as a mix of public and private housing. They are built and managed by private developers but come at a cheaper price as the land cost is subsidized by the government. Only Singaporeans are allowed to buy directly from the developer at launch. There are many factors that differentiate an EC from a private condo, such as grants, price, payment schemes, purchasing eligibility, income cap, and so on. Depending on your combined monthly household income, there are grants of up to $30,000 available for first-timers who'd like to purchase an EC. Unfortunately, for private condos, there are no grants available. However, there are discounts from time to time given by the developer. Statistically, prices of an EC unit could be 20 to 30% cheaper than private condos due to the subsidized land price, which then lowers the break-even cost of the developer. While it may be cheaper, not everyone is eligible to purchase an EC. You see, only Singaporeans are allowed to purchase new ECs, and there's a monthly household income ceiling where buyers' combined income must not exceed $16,000 per month to qualify to purchase an EC. For private condos, there are no restrictions on foreign ownership, income, and anyone can purchase a private condo. ECs are to be purchased for own stay only. There is a 5-year minimum occupancy period before owners can rent out or sell their unit. This means upon making the purchase during the new launch, assuming a 4-year construction period and adding a minimum occupancy period of 5 years, which is calculated from the point buyers collect the key, EC buyers can only sell off their unit about 9 to 10 years later. If both buyers of an EC and a private condo were purchased at the same time at launch, by the time an EC buyer is eligible to sell, for buyers of private condos, they could have flipped 3 times because for private condos, it can be for own stay or investment and there's no MOP required. You can sell your unit immediately after buying it or 3 years from the date of purchase to avoid paying seller's stamp duty. There are also no restrictions on when or who you can rent out your private condo to. Buyers who do not wish to be locked in for such a long period of time will be more suitable purchasing a private condo. In terms of ownership and selling restrictions, EC owners can only sell to Singaporeans and PRs after the MOP, whereas for private condo owners, they can sell to anyone under the sun. If you're buying an EC, when it comes to your loan eligibility, you'll be subject to the mortgage servicing ratio, where a maximum of 30% of your monthly income can be used to service the loan. In contrast, for private condos, the total debt servicing ratio applies where up to a maximum of 55% of your monthly income can be used to service your housing loan. To put it in perspective, with a combined income of $16,000, in terms of loan eligibility, buyers would be eligible to borrow up to $1.07 million for an EC, whereas if you were to buy a private condo, you could potentially borrow up to $1.96 million. From an investment perspective, instead of buying an EC, this set of buyers can possibly purchase 2 properties, one for own stay and another for investment. So here's the special feature of ECs, payment schemes. For HDB upgraders who are interested in purchasing a brand new home but don't wish to stay elsewhere or rent while waiting for their home to be built, the deferred payment scheme allows you to purchase an EC without having to first sell off your HDB and without needing to incur additional buyer's stamp duty. What's needed of you is to pay the initial 20% of the purchase price as well as the buyer's stamp duty. After this, no payment is required till the date that you move in. You only need to sell off your HDB by then. For buyers who prefer not to rent while waiting for their brand new home, in such cases, going for an EC under the DPS may be an option which is more attractive. And this scheme is unique to ECs only. If you're a HDB owner who wishes to upgrade to a private condo, you would first need to sell off your house before you can purchase another home. This brings a lot of anxiety to some as there's a lack of certainty as to where they'll be going when you make the decision to sell. However, with a good agent that genuinely cares for you, you can be assured that your selling and buying timeline is well thought out to ensure that you always have a roof over your head. So, in summary, depending on the type of buyer that you are, buying an EC may or may not be suitable for you. The great thing about ECs are that 1. It's cheaper than a private condo, which means you have a higher chance of future capital gains. 2. You get to tap on housing grants if you're a first-time buyer. 3. You get to enjoy ABSD exemption and you don't have to sell your HDB before buying the EC. However, as an EC buyer, the drawback is that you may have to wait 9 to 10 years before you can sell or rent out your home. And even then, you're restricted to who you can sell to. You're also subject to the MSR, which means that with the same income, you can borrow almost twice as much for a private condo. Third, you're subject to a monthly gross income ceiling of $16,000. Oh, and one more thing. If you're upgrading from your HDB, you'll be subject to a resale levy of $15,000 to $55,000. If you're undecided whether an EC or a private condo will be more suitable for you, do feel free to contact me and I'll be able to assess your eligibility as well as the different options which are available for you. Do like and share if you found my video useful so that I can be encouraged to make more videos. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Julia and I'll see you soon.